Yo, what up guys, I'm the Cryptic Espada, and with today's video, I'm going to talk about my problems with The Legend of Korra. In my last video, I talked about why The Legend of Korra is a good show, in my opinion, but with today's video, I will talk about my problems with the show. Before we start with the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your problems with The Legend of Korra. And with that out of the way, let's start with the video. First off, let me say this, I like The Legend of Korra. I really enjoyed watching The Legend of Korra, especially recently when I rewatched the show. I don't think it's as good as The Last Airbender, but it's still a good sequel. Now that I've rewatched the show, and I'm way older now, I have a better understanding from what's good and what's bad about certain shows. Likewise with The Legend of Korra. This time I saw things that I liked way more than my first time watching the show. I also saw things what I didn't like compared to my first time watching The Legend of Korra. First, I want to talk about the animation. Like I said, I'm not much older and I know the difference between good and bad animation. Korra does have good animation in Season 1, 3 and 4, but Season 2 takes a hit with the animation. When rewatching it and I saw Season 2, I really was like, oh my god, what happened? It was so jarring to look at because of how good the animation was in Season 1. The animation in Season 1 was amazing. If you then see the beginning of Season 2, you can really tell the difference in this downgrade. I know they switched animation studio in Season 2 for only 6 episodes. After episode 6, they went back to the old animation studio that animated Season 1 and will go on to animate Season 3 and 4. I was really happy to see them animate the rest of the show after episode 6, because when the studio returned, the animation of Season 2 was really good, especially with the Avatar 1 arc and the end battle with Unalaq. A minor problem I had is how they showed off the Fire Nation in The Legend of Korra. I know in The Last Airbender, the Fire Nation was a big deal, so we saw a lot of the Fire Nation in The Last Airbender. I'm very happy that we saw more of the Air Nation / Air Nomads in the show, but I felt like they could have done a better job with exploring the Fire Nation in The Legend of Korra. Correct me if I'm wrong, the only time we saw the Fire Nation in The Legend of Korra was when we first saw Zuko in Season 3. The other time that the Fire Nation was mentioned was when the world leaders were talking and we saw Fire Lord Izumi, the daughter of Zuko. I'm not mad because we've seen them explore many places in the show, but I would have loved to see more of the Fire Nation in The Legend of Korra. Another minor problem I had is what they did with Sokka. I know The Legend of Korra is about her story and her crew, but I would have liked to see more what happened with Sokka. With Aang, we saw and heard that he changed the world and built Republic City with Zuko. In the present day of the show, we saw Katara, Zuko and Toph, and every time we saw them it was really cool to see. We've seen that Aang and Katara had 3 children in the show. We also seen that Zuko had 2 children in the show. And we saw Toph having 2 daughters in the show. We saw Toph becoming chief of police and making metal bending a norm in the world. I'm just saying, we saw everybody leaving an impact in the show. But with Sokka, we really didn't see that. Sokka wasn't my favorite character in The Last Airbender, but I still liked him. But yeah, I wish they could have shown more of Sokka in The Legend of Korra. For many people, shipping was a big deal in The Last Airbender. I'm not that big into shipping, but I feel like if you are going to do it good and don't force it. In the beginning, we saw Asami and Mako. Story-wise, it was good. We saw a rich girl falling in love with a broke boy. They hanged out a lot with each other and etc. and they fell in love with each other. So far, it was good story-wise. Then came Korra and Mako. The beginning of their relationship was so awkward and cringy to watch. They had weird arguments, like the one time Mako was dating Asami and Korra just blatantly told that she was in love with him. I was like, what were you think was going to happen? The Mako and Korra relationship has some good things, but it also has some cringe-worthy moments. I definitely believed more of the relationship of Mako and Asami than the relationship of Mako and Korra. Bolin had a funny relationship with Eska, but they did a good job with his relationship with Opal, especially in Season 4 with the whole family and Kuvira thing. And now we are going to talk about the most controversial shipping with Korra and Asami. The first time I saw the ending of The Legend of Korra, I was shocked. I was like, whoa, since when did they have a relationship? For me, it came out of nowhere, but after rewatching it, I can see the little hints in their relationship. Especially when Korra only wrote letters back to Asami and no one else, not even Mako. Like I said, I saw the little hints, but I get why people say it came out of nowhere. Literally, most of the time they were portrayed as straight characters. Here and there they had their moments, but it wasn't like that you thought they were dating. Maybe with the letter thing you can say, they had a thing. But in my opinion, they could have done a way better job of showing us that Asami and Korra were maybe really in love with each other. Basically, the best relationship, story-wise, in The Legend of Korra was Varric and Zhu Li. I mean, they did a wonderful job with it, especially in Season 4. I gotta say, I was really happy in the end to see them married. They deserved it. Their relationship was really awesome to see from beginning to the end. And at last, I'm going to talk about the villains, more story-wise. I like that The Legend of Korra took more of an anime approach and did an arc per season. Maybe they could have done it like The Last Airbender. They also did an arc per season. But with The Last Airbender, we knew what the end goal was in Season 1. And with Korra, we didn't know what the end goal was. I liked all 4 villains in The Legend of Korra and the ideology. I don't have a problem with Amon. I liked his story and his reveal to be a waterbender and also have the ability to bloodbend. But I would have loved him more if he was a non-bender with the ability to take somebody's bending away. Overall, I didn't have a problem with Amon. Then we have Unalaq. I liked him. He was my least favorite of the 4, but I still like him. I don't have a problem with Unalaq. I like his story, especially what they added in Season 3 with him being part of the Red Lotus. Likewise with Amon, I don't have a problem with him. Zahir is easily the best villain in The Legend of Korra, or maybe in the whole Avatar series. For me, it's between him and Azula. I especially love the ideology of Zahir. Such a compelling villain with a good story. He really left a big impact in the show. Kuvira was really the baddest bitch in the series. Kuvira was so awesome. I really like how they portrayed her as a dictator, while she saw herself as a uniter. Such an awesome villain. The way I am talking right now, you maybe think that I don't have a problem with these villains, but I do have a problem with the storytelling of these villains. I feel like Unalaq, Zahir, and Kuvira really should have had a backstory. I really hated that they didn't give Zahir a backstory. I know they talked about this backstory, but I'm talking about seeing it in an episode or a flashback rather than telling to us. In Season 1, they did a great job with Amon, with showing us his backstory. I would have loved to see that with Zahir, Kuvira, and Unalaq. That's why I think The Legend of Korra should have had way more episodes. The Last Airbender has 61 episodes, where The Legend of Korra only has 52 episodes. I really think that The Legend of Korra could have benefited from having more episodes to flesh out these villains more. I think if you really saw the backstory of Zahir, I think he would easily be the best villain in the whole Avatar series. And those were my problems with The Legend of Korra. I am not one of those Korra haters that hated everything about the series. I really enjoyed watching Korra. I would like to know in the comments down below your problems with The Legend of Korra. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn the post notification on so you miss a video. Comment down below your problems with The Legend of Korra. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description. And that's it. I hope you're having a fine day until my next video. Peace out.